All right, welcome back. Here we are for the second half of Chapter 8, and we're talking about bootstrap marketing or marketing for small businesses. So we left off our discussion when we were talking about blogging, which is just a web blog where you go online and you write about your company. So 62% of companies use blogs as part of their marketing strategies. It's economic. It doesn't cost very much. It's effective. People go to your website and read your blog. Just a few things about writing on your website. Be honest, be interesting, be balanced. Do it consistently so readers have a reason to come back to the site. Ask customers for feedback. One of the first examples I saw of blogging was down in Louisiana with a carpet company where I interviewed the young people in charge of that business and discovered that one of them was doing a blog for the company. And it's a really good thing. I think it can really show your customers where you want to go with the customers, with your company, and supply some direction and goals for your company. And if you have some ambitions, it's fine to go ahead and voice those ambitions. So with anything, though, on the internet, be aware that whatever you post is permanently there. It's part of the public record. It can be accessed at any time, and so don't make rash statements or be critical of anyone. Just try to be positive and promote your company in a blog. So we've been talking this chapter about creating an identity for your business through branding, and we've talked about social marketing, talked about starting a blog. A couple of other things you can do is create online videos or host a special event. With online videos, you're primarily talking about creating videos on YouTube. We already post videos about your company. This doesn't cost anything. It can be done relatively simply. And then you can refer to your videos on your website and direct people to look at your videos to describe your company and get the word out about your company. The second item here, hosting a special event, is not necessarily, I don't see this in necessarily an online context, but just having an event that your business sponsors. For example, here in East Texas, there's a company called Motor Trike. They're located in Troop, which is not too far away from us in Tyler. And they make motorcycle conversion kits. They convert a motorcycle to a three-wheel vehicle. And you might have seen these on the road. It looks like a tricycle motorcycle. And they're actually called trikes. So Motor Trike is the national leader, actually worldwide leader, in the production of these kits that transform a motorcycle into a trike. And recently they had an event at their headquarters in Troop where they had a rally where people come from all over, and they had dinners and music and raffles and tours of the factory there in Troop, and they just had hundreds of people come from all over the company to this special event, and I think it was very effective getting the word out about Motor Trike. So another aspect of branding beyond embracing social marketing is to be dedicated to service and customer satisfaction. Excellent customer service. And I've given you examples already of companies who I think are excellent with their customer service. Disney with the Disney cruises, and another one who's excellent, and I believe they're excellent, is here in Tyler at Holly Tree Country Club. We happen to be members there, and we think that the service is excellent, in the dining room. We've gotten to know the staff there. They see me come in the door and they bring me a Diet Coke right away. So little things like that that set them apart from other places to eat in Tyler. Another example, when we were on the Disney cruise recently, the waitress, well, we had a little bit of a wait for our dinners, and the waitress would bring us out these wooden games where you form letters like a T or a capital H out of the wooden blocks, and that occupied us for quite a few minutes and passed the time while we were waiting for our dinner. And that was something that she wasn't required to do, but it was just a nice thing. It was going above and beyond the level of service that was needed. So there's plenty of statistics out there that talk about unhappy customers and customer service. 79% of unhappy customers will tell others. 48% say they won't patronize stores because they've heard about negative stories from other customers. For every complaint you receive, 17 others go unspoken. So social media has only amplified this situation. In the past, it was just word of mouth. Now it's very easy to go online and complain about a company. So we need to have excellent customer service and keep those complaints down. So we should keep track of social media and see if there's negative complaints or negative comments about our company on social media. We should respond. The basic tenet of customer service is to remember that the customer is always right. On the spot, when you're serving customers, you have to be polite, not defensive, and try your best to take care of all situations. So we want to achieve excellent customer service, and so we need to be cognizant of several factors. We need to be aware of our company's service cycle. The service cycle is the steps that a customer goes through to buy a product or service from our company. And we want to make sure that those steps are not too onerous, that they can be completed in a timely fashion, and that we are treating the customer respectfully at every point in the process. So we need to have standards and measure our performance. Customer complaints should be viewed as a way to improve customer service. We need to listen to our customers. We need to know what superior customer service is. We need to be able to differentiate our company from others and provide value to our customers. So a little bit more on achieving customer satisfaction. The big rule is when you have a negative customer, you need to apologize to the customer and fix the situation as quickly as possible. As managers, we tend to want to cut corners and cut costs and not to have a customer complaint cost the company a lot of money, but I think it's better to take care of the customer even though it may cost the company a little bit of money. For instance, we were eating at a steak restaurant recently, and I won't name the company, but it was the Outback, and they served us a steak that my wife and I thought was very, very small, smaller than usual, than we were used to because we'd ordered this steak many times. And the manager came out and we talked to the manager, and they tried to argue with us and say that the steak was correct. And that's all they did. They came out, they weren't argumentative, they were nice, but they did nothing in effect. And that has created ill will for us, although we've continued to go back. We've never bought that particular item again. We've gone and bought the cheapest steak on the menu because it looked like the same steak to us as the upgrade steak. But what if that manager, instead of arguing with us and trying to convince us that the steak was right, if he had changed out the steak or given us money off or something, we might go back and buy the more expensive steak. So although they saved money in the short run with their solution, which was to basically try to talk us out of it, they haven't convinced me. I'm talking about it now, years later, and they haven't gained anything from that. So you need to take a long-term orientation to these customer problems as well. So you should empower employees to offer superior service. One of the best companies at empowering their employees to offer better service is Ritz-Carlton. If you go to a Ritz-Carlton hotel, I know they're very expensive and they're not a hotel you go to very often, but if you have the opportunity to ever go to a Ritz-Carlton hotel, they do provide excellent service. And if you notice something out of place or out of order or that you want, any employee that you talk to can take care of your problem. They don't have to go get the manager. They don't have to go get their supervisor. They, at Ritz-Carlton, if you tell an employee about a problem, they are empowered to fix it. So that's a great customer service and great training that they have at that particular business. So we need to train employees to give good customer service. We need to hire service-minded employees to start with, and all of that comes from the top management of a company. If you ever watch the undercover boss shows on TV, they do tend to be about the same, where the CEO in a large company goes undercover in his own organization and works and finds problems and finds some employees who are doing a good job. And at the end of most of these undercover boss shows, the CEO says really nice things about the employees and shows them respect and shows them how valuable they are. But one thing to remember is there was a problem to start with, and the undercover boss, he hadn't addressed that problem until the show came along. So you really do need to treat your employees with respect, and they are valuable. Your employees are your lifeline to your customers. Your employees make you or break you in most businesses. So we need to treat them well. We should view customer service as an investment. We should reward superior service and even give customers an unexpected surprise. In Louisiana, we used to call that lagniappe. Something extra for free, like a gift of chocolates on a pillow at a hotel when they turn down your blankets at night. Or Disney Cruise Lines, once again, they do that, and they make the animals out of your towels. And if you ask, unexpected surprises are things you don't have to ask for, things they do for you without your asking. Part of building the competitive edge through branding and having excellent customer service is retaining existing customers. Research shows that 20% of our customers provide us with 80% of our sales. And there's something called a customer experience management program, where you win customers for life and you create optimum experience for customers every time they come into your business. So I've talked about Disney Cruise Lines being able to do that with perks and things for being a silver member or a gold member or a platinum member. But we want to retain our existing customers. It's much easier to retain them than to acquire new customers. So the research shows that we have to bring in 12 to 20 new customers to offset losing one loyal customer. Repeat customers provide 2/3 of all of our business, and attracting new customers costs 7 to 9 times as much as keeping existing customers. So we need to bend over backwards and do go the extra mile, so to speak, to retain customers as much as we possibly can. So to retain customers, we need to understand what we are doing right and keep doing that. And then we need to find out what we can do even better. If we make mistakes, we need to find those out as well so that we can fix them in the future. So we've talked about branding, social marketing, retaining existing customers, using through customer experience management. Another step to build a competitive edge is to be devoted to quality. And there's a system called Total Quality Management, TQM. You've probably heard of this in other classes. This TQM was really developed, or was developed, by Professor Deming, who is an American who went over to Japan after World War II to help rebuild the economy of Japan after the United States and its allies defeated Japan in World War II. I might add that that's one of the few times in history where the country that won the war went back and rebuilt the country that they defeated. But that's another story for another time. Anyway, so Deming went into Japan and created this system called Total Quality Management, TQM. And the basic tenet of TQM is to inspect production at every step in the process, not just at the end. In the old days, they used to have a product come off the assembly line. They'd see it at the very end before they put it in a box, and they'd check it over, be sure there were no defects. Well, Deming said that's not good enough. We're going to check it in the raw material stage, the materials in process. We're going to check it as it goes down the line in the factory. We're going to check it at every step in the process. So that system was put in place for manufacturing, but it's also now applicable in retail and service businesses as well. So with TQM, we want to instill quality in the product or service in every aspect of the business and the relationship with the customer, and we want to continuously improve quality. We want to get it right the first time. We don't want mistakes that occur at the end of the production process or at the end of the line and then fix them. We want to fix them right away at the beginning. So we're talking about different ways through marketing to build a competitive advantage. We talked about social marketing, we talked about customer service, we've talked about quality. Now finally, another way to build a competitive advantage is to be convenient for your customers, to make it easy for customers to do business with you. So we want to make it easy for customers to buy from us. And how can we do that? Well, the first thing in retail and restaurants is to have a convenient location near your customers. And then, are your business hours suitable for your customers? Are you open when they need you? Like a dry cleaner needs to be open a little bit early in the morning so people can drop off things on the way to work. And then the dry cleaner needs to be open until maybe 7 or 8 at night so that people can pick stuff up on the way home from work. So are your hours suitable to your customers? Would customers appreciate pickup and delivery services? There's a dry cleaner here in Tyler that does deliver your dry cleaning to your home. Or what I usually do is I drive up next to the dry cleaner and they bring it out and they put it in my car. So I pick it up and that's more convenient for me. But smaller businesses need to be flexible. They need to be there when the customers want them. I'll give you a bad example. Recently, I went to mail in my yearly income tax, and I went to the post office, and I got there at 5 minutes after 4, but the post office in Flint closed at 4 o'clock, and so I couldn't mail in my tax return. So I drove downtown Tyler, and I got there at 4:30. And fortunately, that post office was open until 5 o'clock, so I was able to mail my taxes. But hours need to be convenient and suitable for your customers, and location and services too. Another way to make it easy for customers is to buy or accept credit cards. So not to give negative examples, but there's a grocery company here in Tyler that does not accept credit cards, and I was there recently, and I just wanted to buy a chocolate Easter bunny. It was at Easter time. I wanted to buy a chocolate rabbit for my girls, and I only had $5 in cash, and the rabbit cost $7. So I had to put it down, and embarrassed, I had to leave the store. But fortunately for me, in that case, I ran into a friend of mine in the parking lot, and he loaned me some money, some cash, so I was able to go back in and buy the bunny. But most customers are just going to walk away in a situation like that. So you need to make it easy, even though it costs the company 2 percentage points to allow their customers to use credit cards. I think that particular company is losing lots of money. And finally, do your employees treat customers with courtesy? When you drive through a fast food restaurant, the person who takes your order is very, very important, and they should have a pleasant greeting every time you come up. And it shouldn't just be, what are you going to have? It should be more than that. And I think one of the best at that is Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. They have a nice greeting every time for me when I drive up. So we want to make it easy to do business with our company. We want our employees to be well trained and to handle transactions politely. If we can, we should offer little extras that make our customers' lives easier. I think one company that does that occasionally is Salsaritas, where occasionally I get like a Mexican donut. They're trying to increase their sales on Mexican donuts, so they give them away occasionally. But little extras are great. Other things are bundling existing products to make it easier for customers to use them. Adapting existing products. All those things are good. And finally, does your company handle telephone calls quickly and efficiently? The worst thing in the world is to be put on hold and for minutes and minutes at a time. That's bad customer service. Companies need to have enough service people to handle the volume of calls that come in. Okay, so we've talked about all these different ways to build a competitive edge through marketing practices. We've talked about social marketing, customer service, devotion to quality, attention to convenience. Finally, there's a couple of other things here. Innovation, having new products, and then emphasizing speed, which we can do in several different ways. So, emphasis on speed, and this falls under the principles of time compression management, where there's 3 different things we can do to reduce time, 3 different ways to improve our service for customers. One is to speed new products to market. I think one company that's good with that is Apple with the iPhone and the iPad. They get the new products to the market. People anticipate them. They line up outside the store to buy those products. Speeding new products to market. Secondly, shorten customer response time in manufacturing and delivery. If you can get the product to the customer quicker, you're going to save sales. You'll lose sales the longer the customer has to wait. I oftentimes wonder how Ashley Furniture can get customers that buy furniture to wait 3 weeks for delivery, which is their common practice. They should shorten that time somehow. And then the third one is to reduce administration time to fill an order. That technology can greatly reduce time. Communication technology, computer technology should greatly reduce administration time. So in increasing speed in our businesses, it's not that we want to do things faster. It's that we want to do things better. We need to manage our processes better. We need to eliminate unnecessary steps and streamline the work and not just make people work faster. We want to create cross-functional teams and empower them to attack and solve problems. We want to have aggressive schedules, goals for production, and stick to the schedule. So wherever possible, We want to rethink how we're getting our products to the customer. We want to instill speed in the company culture. Technology will help us to do that, and we can also use the internet to increase speed to market. So in conclusion, there's a lot of different things we can do to reach customers that don't cost a company a whole lot of money. Bootstrapping marketing strategies can really help small businesses to reach their customers and build competitive advantage.